This is it. Security. I can check the departures registry to find out which crew the Scholar, shipped in and out with.
No one lives on Monarch. It's a wasteland. You're hearing things.
No, seriously. There was a lot of static at first, but then this voice said his name was Graham?
Graham, right. Broadcasting on a dead world full of monsters. Now I've heard everything.
You know, it takes more muscles to frown than to smile.
Who told you that? Graham?
Asshole. Don't look funny at the crew. Heard they toss folks out the airlock if they don't like your face.
I get strange comms chatter every time I fly by Monarch. What's going on down there? I picked up some weird chatter on my way in. Seemed to come from Monarch. Don't look funny at the crew, but they taught...
You couldn't pay me to visit Monarch. I'd probably get my face eaten off. I get strange comms chatter every time I fly by Monarch. What's going on down there?
Nicely done. There it is. Just... Now that we have the data cartridge, I can finally find out where that Scholar I'm looking for ended up. Oh, yes, Captain.
Gosh, that's clever.
Looking sharp.
Unless you're here to file an incident report or to inquire about the bounty posting, I must kindly ask you to clear out. The Mardet's offices aren't for leisure time nor loitering. Do I look like your gossipy best friend? While I'm on post, I take my duties real serious. I would have no qualms whatsoever escorting you to a cell. Understand? Now let's not start a fuss. I'm just trying to do my job, and I can't do it while chit-chatting with you. We're the security force here on Groundbreaker. Started back before the crossing, you know. The original force was made up of a Marine detachment from the 77th Marine Expeditionary Unit, Trailward Fleet. Folks started calling us Mardettes because it was easier to say. Guess it stuck. The outlaw scientist fella, right. The board's had it out for him for ages. If you have an inkling of the wheres or what-fors of his location, Udon Bedford would surely like to hear it. To the board, yeah. You've read his wanted poster. Whole list of things to get there but he's never done nothing to Groundbreaker, so I've no problem with him. We keep the poster up to keep the peace is all. Last tip we got pointed toward the back bays. You want the reward? Do the legwork. Oh, I will. Soon as the chief approves the personnel reorg required for a bounty dispatch. So, in about 3 to 7 weeks. You and about 6 other enterprising mavericks. It's only a matter of time before someone brings me McRed's head, or his lucky lighter, as proof of kill. I do hope you're the lucky hunter, though. Good luck and skip speed to you. Still waiting to hear back on that bounty for McRed. That aside, not much else. Groundbreaker's keeping calm at the moment. How goes the hunt? I've been ruminating on it, and I decided, if you ain't killed McRed yet, I want you to hurt him. Nothing excessive, mind you, but the scoundrel deserves a light beating at least before he kicks off. Have at it, then.
Hi there. Haven't seen you around before. What can Groundbreaker Security do for you today? This is the security. If you're here to report a crime, you'll want to talk to Commandant Sanita. I'm not authorized to take incident reports anymore. I'm not so good at filing. Mix up first name and surname 1, 2, 7 times. Well, folks are liable to start taking your filing privileges away. Less than there used to be. Fewer freighters passing through these days. I spend some shifts just listening to the wireless. Search me? I mean, don't search me, because that's my job. I reckon you'd have to ask the folks in Byzantium. Less than there used to be. There's been a whole heap of good advertisements lately. Sometimes I tune in just for those. Sure, and stuff from outside the system too, off the interstellar freighters. That's why we also have so many armed Mardettes on duty here. That'd be awful weird. On account of you should be locked up back here too, then. We can't just let anyone walk in here. I wouldn't be, well, that's not... we just don't. Maybe if you clear an open bounty and get in good with Commandant Sanita, or help Chief Tennyson fix this heat, that might warrant a thank you tour or something. All right, I guess. In and out, though. Just try not to do any shady stuff. I'd like to keep my job. What can Groundbreaker Security do for you today? Chief Junlei Tennyson. She runs the ship. Does a real great job. Her family's worked on it for, gosh, since it was built, I think.
What's she like? Is she a good boss?
Good as she can be, I guess. What with all the trouble. She could stand to lighten up, I suppose. But she tries her best to do right by folks, and that's what matters.
No reason. Don't you trouble yourself over it, Captain.
That was very convincing, miss. I think your captain almost bought it. Yes, sir, of course. I'm sorry if I overstepped. Was just having fun is all. Didn't mean anything by it. Sure is, but she makes it look easy. She's real competent, our chief, even if she ain't real friendly. Chief Tennyson don't generally hire outsiders for station jobs, but you could try asking at Sublight Salvage. They got an office on the far end of the promenade deck. Anything else I can help you with, mister? They're run by Miss Hagen. Half the tramp captains and contractors in the system have worked for her. I ought to warn you straight off. Scuttlebutt says some of the jobs they do aren't exactly above board. Downright anti-business, if you catch my meaning. Let's say there's been times when I heard somebody needed a thing, and somebody else had such a thing, but they weren't inclined. Now let's say the one who had the thing suddenly found theirs missing, and the one who needed got one. If anyone asks, Sublight says it got salvaged from an old wreck. Case closed. If anybody could prove them criminals, the board would have put their foot down a long time past. They always got, what do they call it? Deny. Something gets nicked or someone turns up dead, Sublight says, hey, independent contractor, not our responsibility. But everyone knows what they're doing, top to bottom. Against is a strong word. Let's say that if you need something the board ain't inclined to sell, you might look to Sublight. You might pay Sublight a shitload of bits for it, but that money gets passed on to their contractors, so in the end, it's still...
You must admit, there is a beauty to the order of it. Everything operates within the constraints of the grand plan.
People do what they gotta to get by. Oh, sure, sorry. Gets a mite boring at this desk, you know. Then I get to chatting too much and Commandant Sonia's gotta reprimand me again and... Oops, doing it...
Oh, don't worry. Captain's real understanding.
Can't speak for the captain, but I'm used to listening to folks drone on about their pointless...
Awful generous of you, listening to me like this. That's what I'm here for, sir.
How goes the hunt? Nothing excessive, mind.
Try not to be distracted by the glare of the adverts. Lots of unsavory types about.
Be free nuts in it. It's time for a KYO. Rizzo's Purple Berry Crunch, Triple Flakes, and Purple Berry flavored Power Nuggets, now with 12% more crunch. Rizzo's Spectrum Vodka, aftertaste the rainbow.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. The board would like to remind spacers and other travelers that passage to Monarch is restricted for your protection. Canyons of acid and sulfur rain are the least of the horrors plaguing the surface of Monarch. Anarchists live as one with the animals, lawless, savage, and unemployed. The board's embargo ensures that nothing can leave the planet and threaten our hard-working citizens. This story brought to you by Halcyon News. All the news that's fit to broadcast.
Careful where you smoke. The crew...
Yeah, I've done work for Sublight. Need to pay the bills somehow.
Okay, gone quiet.
I don't have time for this.
Rizzo's Mock Apple Cider. A hard cider for a hard life. Rizzo's Purple Berry Fudge.
If you got a maintenance issue, take it to Chief June Lei. She's in engineering.
Suck it, chew it, you can do it.
What the hell's going on? We were in a holding pattern for 2 hours just to get in.
Comms had to go on break. Chief didn't have enough hands to coordinate docking. Something about the radiators being busted. I don't know. Not my problem, right?
You couldn't pay me to visit Monarch.
We move cargo 16 hours a day, and half of us still can't afford a bed.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. Tossball finals are scheduled to air soon, but a scandal has rocked the league and thrown this pivotal game into question. Both teams have tested negative for performance-enhancing stims. A tossball first. Coaches and referees are debating how and if this behavior could lead to an unfair advantage. This is Halcyon News, reminding you that there's no I in news, no we in Halcyon, and no Mercury in Saltunia.
Hot enough for you? Welcome to The Last Hope, our little tribute to the Miss...
Seeking relief from the heat? Till June Lei gets those radiators fixed, I've got the next best thing. The radiators, they're fucked 10 ways to sun. And we're all sweating buckets wondering when the powers that be are gonna get around to fixing it. Couldn't say, and I wouldn't be pouring drinks professionally if I could. All I know is we're cooking in our own juices here, and it's only gonna get worse. They're supposed to gather up all the heat the systems generate and vent it in. Instead of the heat going where it ought, though, it seems to be blowing straight down the promenade. Weeks? I've lost track. Too law-damn long. Engineering. Chief June Lei Tennyson, to be precise. She don't know what's got her dragging her heels, but I wish she'd hurry it up. That's not for me to say, but if you're feeling the urge toward helpfulness, you can find Chief June Lei in engineering. There's nobody who knows more about the station's guts. Any system you could name, June's crawled around in... She doesn't come around here often, though. Don't see her as much of a drinker. Too straight-laced for that. Only the usual. Marauders all over space. You ever wonder how folk who can't figure the bleeding-edge technology of a spoon can manage to get ships into space? I hear tell some folk down in the townships are getting offered early retirement. Who'd think of such a thing? What would you do with all the time? Some big shot down in Byzantium's holding auditions for a new adventure serial. So yay, another 6 of those next season. Don't think I heard anything new lately. The system's got pretty quiet the last few weeks. Don't think I heard anything new lately. Stellar Bay proper? Tough to say. The board recalled all the nav keys about 10 years back when the Corps pulled back to Terra 2. It's overrun with beasts, I heard. Big ones. Kinda chew your face off for fun. Might all be bored. If you're aiming to get to Stellar Bay, you're gonna have to get your hands dirty. The board don't like them that truck with Monarch. But I ain't the one you ought to be asking. Try Gladys on the promenade. She'll fix you up. What ain't I got?
You're spending large tonight.
Just got done.
A new face. What?
Hot enough for you? If you're short on bits, you can work off your tab.
I'll be just a moment. 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 That last zero-G was a mistake. That last zero-G was a mistake.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. Do you have what it takes to defend your corporate township from the dangers of alien wildlife and the unemployed? Talk to your local manager about applying for military training and lend your life to protecting our wonderful brands and products. Military service does not guarantee full employment rights, tax breaks, military discount, health benefits, military burial, participation medal, training, or weapons. This has been Halcyon News, your only source for news in the Halcyon Colony.
rent an upstairs room?
How do you do? And welcome to the Rest and Go. We used to be the Go and Rest, but folks never knew when to leave. Sorry. Business has been slow. Anything to occupy the time. Of course. Most of our supplies come and go through merchants. Company ships and salvage runs are the only traffic we tend to get. I try and steer clear of that creepy fellow in the moon mask. If there's a cost to being a company man, he paid it in spades. Fine, as long as the board keeps its grubby Chief Tennyson holds the ship together, the Promenade holds our economy together, and Sublight is the shoddy jewel in our rusty old crown. Our local garbage collectors. That Lilia Hagen never met a debris field she didn't like. She freely admits she planted her roots in Groundbreaker to escape board oversight. But I think there's more to it. She's unusual in the head, that one. Our Chief Tennyson has an independent streak, same as her mother and grandmother who rode this ship on the crossing. There's a reason the board's embassy is a glorified shoebox. While Junlei Tennyson lives and breathes, Groundbreaker remains free. Our Chief Tennyson has an independent streak, same as her mother and grandmother who rode this ship on the... There's a reason the board's embassy is a glorified shoebox. While Junlei Tennyson lives and breathes, Groundbreaker remains... Oh, you can't miss her. Right behind you, number 2. First unit on the left, or second unit from the right, depending on which direction you count from. Oh, I'm sorry. Was this your room? I'll just move along. Wait, this is almost certainly my room. Has my underwear on the floor. Damnable thing about living on a space station. No pigeons to feed. Oh, you can feed the sprats, sure enough. But then the neighbors start moaning about hygiene. Now, see here, What was I doing again? Now, see here, What was I doing again?
Your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. Spacer's Choice is enjoying an unexpected windfall. Sources credit an increase in Saltuna production for this quarter's earning projections. Hardy, brave workers taken against their will to live outside of corporate security have at last come home to Edgewater. Great job, as always, to our hard-working Canada technicians. You've been listening to Halcyon News, your mandated duty as a good citizen.
Is any of the news
Halcyon.
they play here actually true?
Yeah, huh?
You're sure this is perfectly safe? I'd rather not die early of an infectious disease myself.
on Rutten time. Leave me in peace! You hull-headed quacks do know that restful recuperation requires not being disturbed, don't you? For the last ratted on Rutten, you hull-headed quacks do know...
Now where'd that patient go? Mind your steps. There's puddles.
Can't say I've seen you before. I take it you're a freighter captain? If you're here to better yourself, you'll have to wait. We're having a spot of trouble with our delivery service. Sure is. You need a deft hand to straighten a busted nose or sparkle up those not-so-pearly whites? I'm your gal. Of course, there's not much cosmetic improvement going on at the moment, not without my mechanicals. Where the law is Irian anyway? Did he now? The mouth on that man. I swear his late... He must be referring to Irion. I'm sure the fool's gotten himself into an... I'm beginning to wonder if I'm ever gonna get my service mechanicals at this rate. Surgery, mostly. Medical personnel are difficult to come by on Groundbreaker. Our delivery man. A brave idiot with a penchant for getting himself delayed. I'd be grateful if you'd spare the time. We need his delivery soon as yesterday. Last he told me, he was taking a shortcut by Scylla, an asteroid in the Charybdis cluster. That's where I'd start, You look out, though. The place is Keep hanging around and I'll begin... What can I do for you? You have yourself... Keep hanging around and I'll begin to think you're here for me. What can I do for you? You have yourself...
I'm sorry. Am I causing a... Furu? We could have avoided all this unpleasantness if you just let me talk to Jessie in the first place. Let me get one thing straight. Jessie and I are not friends. I just owe her. As for the rest, I'm trying to figure that out. All I know is that she's been here too long, and she's apparently not receiving visitors. You say that like it's weird. Like I said, Jesse did me a favor, and now I just don't like to leave a debt unpaid, that's all. Be my guest. If you know something I don't about dealing with hospital bureaucracy, good luck getting to Jesse, and better luck if you do.
What seems to be the problem? If only my other patients had so many inquiring after them. I'll tell you what I've told. The records say Miss Doyle checked herself in and requested I admit no visitors. The requests of our patients are paramount, so no, you may not see her. She's not my patient. I'm certain no one on my staff would falsify patient records, if that's what you're implying. Not without dispensation from Chief Junlei, I fear. Supplies are hard to come by out here. We don't have the ability to manufacture our own medical supplies here on Groundbreaker. Regrettably, we are dependent on the board for such mundane items as bandages and antibiotics, as well as more critical. We'd nearly signed a supply agreement with Anti-Cleos, but they demanded we only use their branded drugs, and that's simply not... Take care. Something I can help you? Take care.
Keep hanging around and I'll... What can I do for you? You have your...
Damned if I don't rue the day I saved her scrawny little hide. Inadvertently, I befriended... Alright, okay. We can discuss this like the level-headed folk. Seems I've got to do something before Ellie goes jabbering my business to anyone with one ear and an...
The truth is, I'm not sick. But if you repeat what I'm about to tell you to anyone, I will deny it with my You, ain't with the board, are you? See, I owe them a lot. I might have missed a payment or two, and the other night I swear someone was following me back to my room. So I hold up here to lay low. What? No, I didn't do anything. I'm a law-abiding denizen of this ship, I swear. think? No. I recognize a contracted killer when I see one, thank you. In my line of work, that's a skill you develop during week 1, assuming you want to keep breathing. All right, I'll fess this part up too, if it means you'll help me. I'm a thief. I specialize in particularly... 3 weeks back, I caught rumor that the Blood Tier diamond, last worn by an heiress on the Lost Hope, had surfaced for the first time in 70 years. Udom was my buyer for when I'd acquired the diamond. He paid half up front to finance the operation. Let's just say things went sideways about the time I got my hands on the diamond, and it crumbled to stardust. Anywho, I barely made it out with my life, and nary a plan to make back Udom's deposit I'd spent. Udom Bedford's the board guy on the station. He'd know how I stand with them. If you can square things for me, I'd owe you one even bigger than Ellie owes me. Thanks for helping me with the board. You're a real pal. Or I guess I should say, Ellie is one, huh? You're sure no one followed you? Is it all clear, or am I still a wanted woman? Oh, that's just how Ellie is. According to her, she don't need no one or anything to get by. She can deny it all she wants, but we know each other. More than just as passing acquaintances. We've helped each other. Sometimes we even like each other. Lone pirates don't live too long, and it ain't weak to have a friend or two. Ha! Oh, you should ask her that. She'll love it. By which I mean she'll probably have an apoplectic fit.
Any word on Jessie? Let's just say she did me a favor. So, did you find her, or what? Good luck. The board's got an office on the promenade just before engineering. You can't miss it. I'd go with you to see the board's rep, but I'm not great with soft skills.
What seems to be the Take care.
You ever hard up for work? Try Sublight.
Mechanicals all over. They still got us sweating in new boxes.
All right, I'm on my way.
Sorry about the heat. Chief Tennyson will get the radiators fixed soon. Of course, this heat sure makes a zero-G brew extra refreshing. It's an... Oh, and it's not the best choice. A lot of slogans to keep track of. Sometimes I forget. Heard of it. My high orientation aether wave showed that famous Saltuna cannery, which I'm sure smells as good as it looks.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's the Spacer's Choice beer. Take what you have, polish it up, and make the best. So, what can I get you? Some soap? Everyone loves it. I'm bound to satisfy headgear-related inquiries. Please send any complaints to our Consumer Care Headwear Division. You would never ask if you knew what it's like in here. I mean, why, anyone can be a Spacer's Choice Consumer Relations Choice Specialist. Just keep your nose clean and... It's not the best choice! Taste the freedom! Oh, I'm having a stellar day. Not just because I'm legally obligated to say so. Almost as stellar as Spacer's Choice is affordable. I can see all of the top quality merchandise in the Spacer's Choice catalog, which is available here at a reasonable price. Spacer's Choice regrets that we don't sell toothpaste at this time, but we're always working on delivering exciting new products. Sprat Wash, Mouthwash, and Mantafloss are among the exciting line of dental goods currently in. Don't miss out on these deals. You'll find none like them on all of Groundbreaker, or anywhere in the Halcyon Colony. Trouble sleeping? Try our Lunar Eclipse Mix. That's 2 handfuls of pep pills washed down with a... The blast will send you through the stratosphere, and the crash will knock you out cold, guaranteed. Add an additional 10% to your purchase today, and the proceeds will be donated to Spacer. At Spacer's Choice, we care about your health and emotional well-being. That's why we put Martin through 6 years of vendor school, only to make him wear this hat. Even if my contract didn't forbid it. I think, now, are you ready to make Spacer's Choice Lunar Green Moonmouth lozenges a part of you? Lunar Green, the future is spearmint. Damn it. No slogan for that one. Look, this hat, my job, it may not seem like much. If there are self-made purgatories, then we all have to live in them. Mine can be no... Now, if we're done with the chit-chat, I hope you don't mind if I make the most of this short life and try to be the best moon person I can be. It's fine. I should be stronger than... Speaking of interest, can I interest you in some quality budget goods? At Spacer's Choice, we cut corners so you don't have to. Anything and everything. Whatever you want, we got it. And when you need a replacement, we got that too. Just the opposite. Spacer's Choice items are always new. Hot off the shelves, because Oh, sorry. Got the line wrong. You want me to do it again? Spacer's Choice items are always new, hot off the shelves, because customers just can't stop improving their lives with our fun. You could go broke buying overpriced Aramid gear, or you could buy from us at a much more reasonable rate. That's why you should get a backup or 3. Become a frequent buyer. Program currently unapproved in Alpha, rewards and friendship pending. Have a look. you should give our latest product a try. Don't take my word for it. See for yourself. Make a choice.
His office used to be in the docking bays.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regular advertisement for the following story. Remember Auntie Cleo? Because she remembers you. When you were sick, who took your temperature? When you were hungry? Auntie Cleo, that's who. Have you given your auntie a hug today? This has been Halcyon News.
I hear scary things about Monarch.
Got my sights on you. Hey! You looking for a fight? Carry on.
This is a law-abiding establishment.
Hmm?
Is inversely proportional to consumer happiness. Fewer colonists means there's more paradise for the rest of us to enjoy. You've been listening to Halcyon News. Your mandated duty is...
Bless my heart. A stranger come knocking on... You here for a particular reason? Or did the neighbors tell you how good my sugar cookies are? Made without a single natural ingredient, or an oven. Just like store-bought. I found a handsome ceramic mandapillar at a salvage auction. It's almost time for today's episode of The Chairman's Children. Care to listen with me? Those have been the height of illegality since Stellar Bay turned their noses up at the board. You and I could be thrown to the void just for discussing such a transaction. Lucky for us, Groundbreaker's a free port. We're outside of the board's control. For the time being. Now, I only have the one nav key. And they're hard to come by these days. It won't be cheap. If you find yourself lacking in the bits, I might have an opportunity you'd be interested in. Phineas, that old kook. He was quite the dancer back in his prime, did he tell you? Real light in the wallet, too. He still owes me a small fortune. Laws. Maybe I should charge you double. Well, I find I'm in need of a ship captain with a little moral flexibility. Might be this could help out the Groundbreaker, as well as earn some bits. But if you've got qualms... Might want to acquaint yourself with Junlei Tennyson, Groundbreaker's chief. She's been trying to get a handle on this heat problem we've got. You'll find her fretting in engineering. I'd say she's a sweet girl, but law forfend someone call me a liar. Yes, dearie? Ain't that just a treat? So, you know Edna, over in engineering? On occasion, she'll pass along transmissions I might find. She sent me a recording of a distress signal she'd scraped from the Groundbreaker's comm array. Curious thing is, it came from an outpost called Roseway. And Auntie Cleo abandoned that place years ago. Can't say I know for sure. Maybe it never really was.
Sounds like someone poking into somewhere they shouldn't be got into a spot of trouble.
Comm centers don't operate themselves, Captain. Someone had to have sent that distress call manually.
Those corps are cleverer than all get out. Might have been a ruse to keep the rest of the board from sniffing around. Edna didn't seem to think so, and I trust the dear girl's judgment. Well, maybe not in men, but she knows her comms. So, like as not, someone's been down there recently. And if someone set up shop in Roseway, I'd wager they got something to hide. Maybe whatever they're hiding went to heck, and now they need a few spare hands to clean up. If you should find a secret worth selling, might be I could find a buyer. Corporate bigwigs will pay top bit for inside information on their competitors. The more we got the corps fighting each other, the less time they got to meddle in our affairs. Neither do mine, dearie. Old Gladys knows the value of good work. You'll be should you find yourself responding to a certain distress call, and in so doing find yourself in possession of certain valuable corporate secret, then we ought to have a chat over a pot of tea and my famous cookies. Law bless your atoms. Here's a copy of the SOS recording, complete with the coordinates. Don't forget to come find old Gladys when you're done. Won a charming copper kettle off that girl who runs the pub. She's a fierce arm wrestler, but she's no match for your pal Gladys. Great law, is it hot in here? Or is it just my glands acting up again? What do you want, then? My hard-earned wisdom? Ask the common folk, and they'll tell you it's on account of all the monsters on Monarch desperate to gobble you up. Because that's what the board tells them, you see. I think they made some fool mistake that would make them look bad to the rest of the colony, and they're trying to hide the evidence. Those board folk are real prideful-like. Never want you looking behind the curtain, lest... But old Gladys knows the score. The whole colony's not much more than a diorama, showcasing one board screw-up after... That's why we gotta keep them from getting their grubby mitts on Groundbreaker. She's our mess. Probably. Every once in a while, we get these snippets of radio chatter. Edna shows them to me. Some man hooting and hollering about the light in us all, claims he's transmitting from Monarch, but who knows if that's true. Might be true. Might be some new trick from the board. Groundbreaker's radiators. But neither fine nor dandy. Miss Junleigh's supposed to be getting them fixed, but the board's determined to get in her way. The board can't abide a community that won't bend to its will. They've always got one scheme or another running, looking for ways to bring us to heel. Like this heat business. Shameful. But it won't work. No, sir. Groundbreaker's free till the day she dies, law willing. That's right, dearie. The only independent station in... Though for how long, I can't say. That all depends on Miss Junlei. The board can't abide a community that won't bend to its will. They've always got one scheme or another running, looking for... But it won't work. No, sir. Groundbreaker's free till the day she dies, law willing. Go right ahead, sweetheart. Oh, a little of this, a little of that. I buy and sell items that require discretion. I also knit throw pillows stuffed with the hair of famous tossball players. But that's more of a...
What about non-famous players? I earned quite a reputation as a fifth-back during my penitentiary... seminary days.
You do have a favorable mop, but that's not what you wanted to talk about, is it, dear? Anytime, sweetheart. You know where to find me. Here, take a candy with you. If you're here for this week's magazine club meeting, you're a touch late. Anytime, sweetheart. Gracious. I was just sitting down for anytime.
Hey, Hallhead. Put that away.
This is how...
I hear scary things about Monarch.
Do you know what's happening on Terra 1? Last I heard, the board was in dispute with the Renegade Company. Sounded dire.
They call it Monarch now. It's supposed to be a real hellhole. Warlords drumming up marauder squads, blood running in the streets, all kinds of shit.
So it went about as well as everybody expected.
Yep, complete fucking fiasco.